Welcome back on a Friday, 9:20 in the morning at the WOCA studios just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the brick city, beautiful Ocala, Florida. You know, the one constant I see here, as I look out across the runway, there's a guy that drives a John Deere enclosed cab tractor with a bush hog on the back of it. His only job that I can tell, and I've watched him for weeks now, he cuts the grass in between the tarmac and the runway and on the other side of the runway and the fence line. And it's such a massive undertaking that I see him every day of the week that I'm here. He's just up and down with that bush hog cutting the grass, because there's a massive amount of grass out here. But, you know, the things you notice around in your environment. I got planes coming in and out, helicopters coming in and out. The one thing I'm transfixed on, a guy driving a John Deere enclosed tractor with a bush hog on the back of it. What's that say about me? You know, I don't know what this says about me. I don't know. I do know this, that I watched the president come on TV last night. He rambled, in my opinion. He was all over the place, but he was very clear on one thing, that if you work for the federal government, or you are a contracted employee that works getting federal government money, or for that matter, if you're a business and you have over 100 employees, he mandates vaccinations. Let that sink in a minute. In the United States of America, without a vote, without any kind of representation, without any kind of say, people are being vaccinated, mandated to be vaccinated. People, Tom, they do it all the time in the military. Yeah, you make a conscious choice to join the military, and then you must abide by its rules. If you're a federal worker, I get it. If he's in charge of the federal government, if you're a federal worker and he wants to mandate that, you know, that's part of working for the federal government. But all its contractors and then any private business that has 100 or more employees, Look, I'm all for people getting the vaccine if they want it. I'm not all for the government telling you have to get the vaccine, because it's not about the vaccine then. Then it's about the government telling you what to do and when to do it. And that's not the American way. Good morning, you're on Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz.
Good morning, Tom. This is Sonny calling. Don't you notice the fact that these are the baby steps towards socialism?
Khrushchev said,
the only thing you'll get to vote for is dog catcher.
Sonny, Khrushchev said in 1959, he said in a speech that was given to the powers that be in Russia, look, we're not going to make the American communist. We're not going to force them to be communist. We're not going to do it. We're not going to attack them and bring them under the communist regime. What we're going to have to do is infiltrate small steps, get people into the local government, get people here, get people there. And eventually, 40, 50 years from now, they'll just be socialists because they hadn't stopped us from infiltrating, and they won't even know it. He almost made the reference, Sonny, to, the frog that's put him in 100-degree water, and you turn the water up 1 degree at a time, he'll boil to death because he doesn't know the water's being turned up. Well, that's what's happened in this country.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Step by step, inch by inch, toward the end of the cliff.
They've turned the water up.
Good weekend.
Thanks, Sonny, for the call. Yeah, that's the issue. And the fact that we have so many people that say, it's not that big a deal, Tom. You're right. Getting the vaccination is not that big a deal, in my opinion. I got it. So obviously it's not that big a deal, in my opinion. Get the vaccine. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't help, at least you tried. I know that a lot of people some of the people I've lost, and I can't speak over large periods of time or anything. I can't speak to, studies that say this or say that. What I can speak to is that I've lost 10 of my friends in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and all of them were unvaccinated. I know that to be fact. I don't know about the rest of the world. I can't tell you anything about whether what I know is an anomaly or it's the norm. All I know is I've lost 10 friends in the last 3 weeks to COVID. and all of them were unvaccinated. I found out that one of my good friends that I played high school football with in Chamblee, Georgia, and at Georgia Southern, Kevin Crandall, passed from COVID. He came down with COVID 2.5 weeks ago. He's dead now. I talked to his mom yesterday afternoon on the phone. I said, Kevin, I know how strong-willed he is, how strong-headed he is. I go, Kevin didn't get the shot, did he? She said, no. We kept trying to get him to get it, but he didn't get the shot. Gone. Now, I don't know if the shot would have made a difference or not. But I know in my experience, 10 people I know are dead. All 10 of them did not take the shot. But they had the choice to take the shot or not. And that's what I got an issue with now. Is Joe Biden last night come on TV and said, basically, if you don't have the shot, you're an idiot. And because you're an idiot, the government's going to have to step in and make choices for you because we think you're too dumb to do so. That's basically what he said last night, was you're too dumb to get the shot, so we're going to have to be smarter than you and force you to get the shot because you don't have the intelligence to know you should get the shot. Elitist much? That's my problem. Is the government now is telling you you're not smart enough to make a decision for your own about who you are, they must make it for you. When the government starts dictating the decisions that we have to live by, when the government starts making the decisions for us under the guise of, you got to do it because you're not thinking of everybody's safety, so we have to force you to do it. Yes, it's a mandate for vaccines now. But how far off is it going to be a mandate to come get your guns? How far off is it going to be a mandate that we get 40% of your paycheck? How far off are we from it's a mandate that you must put this tracking device on? Somebody goes, Tom, we already got tracking devices. They're called cell phones. I have the option of shutting mine off. Now, do I think those things will happen? I hope not. But that's the slope we're going down. Hey, here's the government-sanctioned cameras that must be installed in every home so we can keep an eye on you. It's mandated. Here's the camera. Put it in. Mandated. If you tear the camera out, there's a $14,000 fine. Because, by the way, you don't get a vaccination, they're fining you $14,000. I never thought that I would live to see a day when the President of the United States, without an act of Congress, without the checks and balances system in play, just makes a blanket statement where everybody has to get vaccinated, federal employees, anybody in a company of 100 or more. And then he ends this conversation by saying, you governors that are against me, I'm coming for you. So is this really about the safety of the American people, or is it about the control of the governors who won't be controlled, the Republican governors who refuse to be controlled by Joe Biden? I think that's a question that needs to be answered. Certainly needs to be asked. But you know as well as I do, the mainstream media is not going to ask that question. They would never say to ask that of Joe. They don't want to embarrass him. You don't have to work too hard on that national media. He'll do it on his own. We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
As America somberly remembers 9/11 this weekend, Vice President Mike Pence on Fox News Friday weighs in on the current administration's Afghanistan withdrawal failure.
It dishonored the memory of all of those who served and sacrificed defending our freedom over the last 20 years. And it also set aside the deal that President Trump and our administration had negotiated with the Taliban. Remember, I was in the Oval Office when the president spoke to Mullah Baradar right after we did the deal. And he said to him, we all want to end the violence, but you're not going to harm any Americans, you're not going to become a haven for terrorists, and you're going to work with the Afghan government. Or the president said, if you break the deal, we're going to hit you harder than we have ever hit you before. And you could tell from the tone on the other end of the call that Mullah Baradar knew he meant business.
USA Radio News.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1